Look at your arm right now. No fur, no thick hair, just bare skin. Every other primate on Earth is covered in thick fur. Gorillas have it. Chimpanzees have it. Even our closest animal relatives, who share 98% of our DNA, are completely covered from head to toe. But you are not. Most people never even think about this. And the ones who do usually assume the same thing. We got big brains instead. Or clothing replaced fur. Or maybe it just stopped being useful. All of those answers are wrong. The real reason your skin is bare right now goes back to one single moment in history. A moment that was brutal, exhausting, and completely driven by survival. A hunt that lasted 5 full hours under the African sun. Once you understand what happened on those ancient grasslands, you will never look at your own skin the same way again. First, let's fix something most people get wrong. Fur is not a new thing. 165 million years ago, long before dinosaurs disappeared, a small creature called Megaconus lived in what is now China. It looked a little like a squirrel. When scientists found its fossil, they also found something surprising. Clear marks of fur around its bones. This creature was not even a mammal. It was a mammal relative, which means fur goes back at least 165 million years in our family tree. And for almost all of that time, fur was extremely useful. It traps warm air against the skin. It keeps the body from losing heat at night. It blocks the sun during the day. It hides animals from predators. It even keeps insects away. So here is the real question. After 165 million years of evolution keeping this system, why did one primate species suddenly lose all of it? The answer starts 4 million years ago, and it begins with a single change that seems small at first. Your ancestors stood up. Around 4 million years ago, in the grasslands of East Africa, a group of early humans called Australopithecus started walking on 2 legs. Scientists know this from their fossils. Their hip bones changed. Their leg bones changed. Their feet changed. Everything was slowly being redesigned for walking upright. But here is something important. Australopithecus still had fur. We know this because of one simple fact. There was no fire yet. Controlled fire does not appear in the archaeological record until millions of years later. Without fire, a furless body sleeping outside at night in Africa would lose so much heat that it would not survive until morning. Fur was still absolutely necessary, but then around 2 million years ago, something new appeared. A species called Homo erectus. And Homo erectus was different from everything that came before it. Taller body, longer legs, wider hips, a physical shape that was not just built for walking, it was built for running. And what Homo erectus did with that body is one of the strangest things in all of human history. Researchers studying Homo erectus discovered something that is hard to believe at first. These ancient humans hunted by chasing animals. Not with traps, not with weapons that could be thrown from far away. Not by sneaking up quietly, they simply ran after animals, for hours, until the animal collapsed from exhaustion and overheating. This is called persistence hunting, and it is exactly as extreme as it sounds. A group of scientists calculated how much water a human body loses during this kind of hunt. What they found was remarkable. Homo erectus could chase prey for over 5 hours straight without needing to stop for water. 5 hours, running, under the full African sun. But here is the thing. That is only possible without thick fur. Think about what fur does to a running body. It traps heat inside. When a furry animal runs hard, its body temperature rises fast. It has to stop, find shade, pant until it cools down. A lion that sprints for 15 minutes needs to rest in the shade for an hour before it can move hard again. But a body with less fur can sweat freely. And when sweat hits open skin, it evaporates. And when it evaporates, it takes heat with it directly into the air. The body cools down while still moving. This one difference was everything. Now here is a fact that surprises almost everyone. Every mammal on Earth sweats, but humans sweat at a level that has no comparison anywhere in the animal kingdom. Scientists actually counted the sweat glands on human skin. The number is between 2 and 5 million. That is 10 times more than a chimpanzee has. At maximum effort, a human body can release 7 liters of sweat in a single hour. Even at a normal active pace, the average is around 1 liter per hour. That is your body pouring water out through the skin constantly, carrying heat away with every drop. No other land animal on Earth does this. And here is where it gets even more interesting. When scientists compared human hair follicles to chimpanzee hair follicles, they found something unexpected. The number is almost the same. We did not lose our hair follicles. We still have them all. The difference is what grows out of them. Chimpanzees grow thick, dense fur. Humans grow what scientists call vellus hairs. These are so fine and so short that they are almost invisible on the skin. Because these tiny hairs do not block the skin's surface, sweat can evaporate directly and immediately. Heat leaves the body instantly. The result is a cooling system that no other land animal has ever evolved. A biological machine built for one thing, running hard in hot conditions without dying. But scientists had a problem for many years. They could not figure out which happened first. Did early humans lose fur because they started running? Or did they start running because losing fur made it possible? Fossils cannot answer this. Fur does not preserve in rock over millions of years. You cannot look at old bones and know what was covering them. So researchers found a completely different way to answer the question: skin color. Here is the connection. Dark skin evolved to protect the body from strong UV radiation from the sun. But dark skin only needs to develop if the skin is actually exposed to sunlight. Look at other primates. Under their thick fur, their skin is pale and light. It has no protection because it never sees the sun. The fur handles everything. So if a hominin species had dark skin, it must have already lost its fur. The skin was exposed, which means the fur was already gone. In 2004, researchers studying human DNA found evidence of a gene connected to dark skin called MC1R that already existed at least 1.2 million years ago. And who was living in Africa 1.2 million years ago? Homo erectus. The case was closed. Homo erectus had already lost its thick fur by 2 million years ago. The skin was bare, the skin was dark, the body was already built for sweating in open sunlight. All of it happened in direct connection with the development of long-distance running. Now here's the part of this story that almost nobody talks about. This was not just about staying cool enough to hunt. When Homo erectus became a better hunter, something else happened at the same time. More meat, more protein, more energy reaching the brain. Scientists studying this period of human history found something striking. The same timeline that shows fur loss also shows the beginning of brain growth in our lineage. More successful hunting meant more animal protein available. More protein meant the brain could grow larger and more complex over generations. Losing fur did not just produce better hunters. It may have directly produced smarter ones. And smarter hunters began doing new things. They started working together, sharing food, planning hunts before they happened, communicating more clearly, building better tools. Developing early language. Think about that for a moment. Your ability to read these words right now, to understand complex ideas, to imagine things that do not exist yet, all of that may trace directly back to an ancestor that could sweat well enough to run for 5 hours, without stopping. The brain you are using right now was paid for in sweat. Look at your arm one more time. What you are seeing is not a flaw. It is not a mistake. It is not the result of losing something important along the way. What you are looking at is 2 million years of precise biological design. Every sweat gland is a cooling system. Every tiny invisible hair is part of a thermal engine more effective than anything modern technology has built. Your bare skin is not the absence of fur. It is what replaced fur. And what replaced fur was better. It is the reason your ancestors could outlast, outrun, and eventually outthink every other creature on this planet. While every other animal was lying in the shade, exhausted and overheated, unable to move another step, your ancestors were still running, and that is why you are here.